now we're on page 53, looking at part 6A, which says take 2 plus 2i to the 4th power. Now, step 1. So if you are one of those people that needs like a map, write down step 1. Maya, this is your question. We're going to change this. Step 1 is change it into trigonometric form. Okay? So to change this number into trigonometric form, I draw a picture of it. Over 2, up 2. We talked about that yesterday. This is x. This is y. This is r. So what would r be? Root 8. And this time I'm just going to leave it root 8, and you'll see why in a minute. CIS, remember polar form is CIS, trigonometric form is CIS. So now I have my radius. What's my angle? You can probably tell. 45.
I'm tired, okay?
Because these match. But you can always type second tangent on your calculator if you want. Okay? Now, this is what we are going to raise to the 4th power. And it is incredibly simple to do this. In order to raise this number to the 4th power, we take the radius to the 4th power, and we take the angle times the 4th power, so times 4. So we raise the radius to the 4th, and we take the angle times 4. So root 8, root 8, root 8, root 8.
64.
Yes. These two make an 8, and these two make an 8. So that gives us a total of 64. CIS, 45 times 4 is
180.
180. This is the trigonometric form of the answer.
Is that the answer?
Well, except the directions say answer in complex and polar. So this is the polar form. Polar and trig are the same thing. Now, Maya, we're going to change it back. Okay, so we started by changing it into polar form. Now we're going to change it back. Remember that complex form means x plus yi. So now we're going to find x. You know how to do this. X equals 64 cosine 180. Because what did we memorize x equals? R cosine theta. Y equals 64 sine 180. So take out your calculators, type this in, and tell me what you get for x and y.
Negative 64 and 0.
Negative 64 plus 0i. There is your complex form of your answer.
Do you have to put 0?
You don't have to put the 0i. I just did because I want you to get used to thinking of x plus yi as complex. All right, let's look at the next one. Now we're going to go through exactly the same steps. Okay? So who remembers how we start? Draw a picture because we have to get it in CIS form, CIS form. So we'll draw a picture. Over 1, up root 3. And somehow from this we need our radius and our angle. What do you get when you square this? 3 plus 1.
2.
3 plus 1 is 4. Square root is 2. So your radius is 2. Now, without a calculator, can you tell, looking at those numbers, can you tell that angle? That's 60. But the angle's not 60. The angle is 120. Now, what's the rule for raising to a power? How does that work? You take the radius to the power, and you take the angle times the power. So what's 2 to the 5th? 32. 120 times 5.
240.
600, but we talked yesterday, we don't like 600 because it's too big. So how did we say we were gonna shrink things down? Subtract 360? So the correct answer is right here.
Said it wrong, Bryce. You were wrong, Bryce.
That's your trig form or your polar form,
Said
okay? But we need to answer in the other form too. They want 2 answers. They want the other form also.
it's super.
So we need the x plus yi form, which means you need x and y. How are we gonna find x and y? X equals 32 cosine 240, and y equals 32 sine 240. Okay, so tell me what you get for x and y.
Negative 16 for x
Negative 16,
and negative 27.7.
so negative 16 minus 27.7i. Are you keeping up?
Yeah.
Doesn't seem too unmanageable, does it? Let's do another one. Okay, well, how do we start? We need r and theta, so we'll draw a picture. This is over root 2 and down root 2. So if I square that, I get 2. If I square that, I get 2, and 2 plus 2 is 4, and the square root of 4 is 2. See how these two are the same number? What does that mean about this angle? It's 45. But your number is not 2 CIS 45. Your number is 2 CIS
315.
315. Now what? How do we raise that to the 3rd power? Radius to the power, so that would be 8. And then angle times the power, oh boy, 945. What about 945? It's way too big. In fact, we're gonna have to subtract 360 twice, I think, aren't we?
225.
We're gonna have to subtract it twice because that's such a big number. So 225, Ethan says, is he right? Okay, now what do we need to do to finish the problem? Change it back to x plus yi form. So how do we do that? How do we get x? Suzanne, how do we get x? Well, we're using 225. But yes, that's right. So I need somebody to type those in and tell me what you get.
I got negative 5.7.
that 5.7 for both?
Yep.
All right, one more. Okay, step one, Maya McCorrin, you know how to start? And the reason we're drawing it, Maya, is so that we can figure out what? What are we trying to find?
Yeah, we're trying to find the radius, which is your hypotenuse, and then your inner.
Exactly.
You're able to.
Right, well, first I'm gonna find the inner angle, but this ultimately will be the angle I use, you're right, perfect, beautiful. Okay, so let's see if we can get this radius right. Any thoughts? It's not root 10. Okay,
4.
let's square this. When you square this, you square both parts. So what's 2 squared?
4.
What's root 3 squared? The square root of 9, which is 3. So this side gets a 12. What's this side when you square it?
4.
4. What's 12 plus 4?
16.
And the square root of 16 is? 4. So those of you that said 4 got it right. Those of you that said other odd numbers did not. Now, I don't know how comfortable you are. Can you tell, because there's a root 3 right there, what this angle would be?
210.
Oh, 30.
That inner angle would be 30,
Both are 210.
but the whole angle would be 210, 180 plus 30. Now, you can second tangent, you're gonna have a calculator. You can second tangent, but this is one of those where you've got to do it correctly. If you're gonna second tangent that, you have to make sure that you have this 2 root 3 in parentheses. Because you're dividing by the whole thing, and that will give you 30. So, 4 CIS 210, we okay with that? And that's what we are gonna raise to the 6th power.
4096.
Jesus Christ.
CIS 180.
So, 4 to the 6th,
I would like to, maybe try to do it myself. When you're popping out the right answers in the first 5 seconds, it's hard for me to concentrate. I'm starting to panic. Having anxiety attack, maybe. I don't know.
Maya,
I'm freaking out.
deep breath, deep breath.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. So we're gonna take 4 to the 6th power. So is that what you're doing, Maya?
Yep.
Okay, what did you get when you took 4 to the 6th power?
How do I do this on my calculator?
4,
4.
little caret button. Over on the side over here, there should be a button that looks like this.
Where is the line?
Let me see.
This is what this is. And it puts 6.
Yep.
4,096.
So we take 4 to the 6th. And then we take 210 times 6. Oh, Lord. We got a giant one this time, right? So you're sitting there with a calculator, what are you gonna do? Minus 360, minus 360, minus 360? That's probably all.
180.
And it comes down to 180. This is what you put in the answer blank. That's the polar form, or the trigonometric form. But now we need the other form too. We need the x plus yi form. So how do we get x?
4D96.
X equals 4096
I guess on
cosine 180. And and then 4096 sine 180. So what'd you say you got?
Negative 4.196 plus
0.
0, yeah.
Megan?
I don't know if I'm doing it wrong, but every time I type in 70 and do it with the 2 divided by 2, I keep getting 60.
I know, because you're not putting, this has to be in parentheses. When you hit 2 divided by, you have to put parentheses, 2 square root 3. And then you're gonna have to close it like a double or a triple parentheses.
Quick question, with that part, why is it positive 2 and not a negative 2?
For this part,
Yeah.
they're both negative, so I just didn't put the negative in there.
Oh.
I never put the negative in, it's never important. Megan, you might also want to consider reducing that fraction, so what you're typing in is 1 over root 3.
Yeah, I figured it out.
Okay, got it? Okay, so now, you're allowed to use your books, your notes, each other, everything, and I'm going to give you 5 problems to do. Okay?
Okay.
But, I don't want to grade a bunch of papers, so I'm only going to collect 1 paper,
Oh, thank God.
okay?
Let's just do it up on the
But if you don't participate,
I'll
oh, we
participate.
could just do it on the
I'll
board,
participate.
that's a good idea.
Well, we know who
Thomas
knows everything.
Chanel.
Ethan
We could just do it on the board, that's a great idea.
Okay, yeah.
to the board.